lot of people love Shrek because it featured the comedic riffage of Mike Myers and up-and-coming celebrity Martin Lawrence. What a lot of people don't know is that Shrek was originally planned to be part of a 5-film series. The film's production took a strange turn after Shrek 3 was released, with actor Mike Myers reportedly claiming that if he had to work as the voice of the Big Green Ogre again, he'd, quote, fucking kill himself. The arduous process of making the masterful Shrek films led to a large cult following online of people who demand a Shrek 4. I work for DreamWorks. I was a doll grip on both Shrek films. One day I heard actor John Leguizamo discussing his part in the Shrek 4 feature when the production manager immediately told him to leave angrily and never to mention Shrek again. Well, I managed to slip into the office one night when everybody else was asleep of the guys that I'd forgotten my prize Lord Farquaad mug. Little did I know that I was about to discover something that would completely destroy the Shrek mythology and possibly explain the end of the world theories related to Shrek that are swimming around these internets. The DVD had Shrek 4 written in marker with a picture of Shrek in a permanent frown. Shrek looked really disappointed. He was staring at his feet and he had dark circles under his eyes. The DVD itself was a CDRW with an onion with a smiley face on it that said, "For Jeffy Smalls," with one of those demouthed smiley faces. I think Jeff Smalls was one of the higher-ups at DreamWorks, if not the CFO. I knew I was risking my job, but I stole the DVD and replaced it with a Family Guy DVD, expecting to get some heat from my boss in the morning. I smashed the security camera on the way out with my hand. It really hurt, and I went home. It turns out this disc was a promotional Blu-ray for a straight-to-DVD copy of Shrek. I put the tape on. The intro was bizarre. It looked like a bunch of fairies were hanging from trees, and there was just the sound of someone screaming, "Oh my God!" over and over again. The next part was really fucked up. We see the house that Shrek lives in, but it seems assembled more like hell. Shrek looks really nervous, and his eyes look more glossy and highly realistic. I'm guessing that this wasn't finished, but Shrek looked a lot cheaper in terms of visual quality, fidelity. The backdrops were really grainy, and there were what looked like human hands sticking up from the ground. "Time to water the hands," Shrek says. He walks outside and takes a piss on some hands. It was disturbing. I don't want to see him pissing on hands. You even saw his green penis. I distinctly could tell it was Mike Myers, actor who portrayed Shrek, doing the voices. What was the most disturbing, however, was that his voice sounded a lot raspier and sad. It sounded like he was playing a sad old Irishman with cancer. He walks over to the donkey, who is not voiced by the actor that originally portrayed him. Instead, it sounds like an angry German man. "Shrek, we need to go to the castle to stop the dragon!" That sounded more like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He yelled. The donkey was standing on his hind legs, and there was clearly a swastika on his forehead. Number 4. I'm making waffles! He yelled, and kicked a gingerbread man into the background. I'd been a fan of the film, as it had reached my demographic, intended by the CEO of DreamWorks, but I don't see how anyone could enjoy this. Everything just seemed sad and dead. The donkey walked to the end of a cliff, and you could see a visible noose around his neck. "You see, donkey? People are like onions! And onions have layers!" Shrek started talking abruptly. He took a CG onion out and shoved his cock in it? You could hear someone snickering to the sound of silverware falling in the background. Shrek took out the same knife he used to peel the onion and started to peel his own skin off. He peeled layer after layer of skin until he was just a bloody CG skeleton with a picture of Mike Myers' real head taped on as a post-production artifact. It wasn't even a scary picture of Mike Myers. It was just him playing the love guru with someone having drawn a dick on his head. I planned on shutting the DVD off. I knew for the love of God this was going to ruin my image of the wonderful ogre and his lovable chums. The scene immediately cut to Shrek fucking the wall in his house while an entire gingerbread family cried. I took the DVD out of the player. I had enough. This was too scary for me. Too fucked up. All of a sudden the DVD started to talk in a robotic voice. A physical tear poured down the Shrek eye on the front of the DVD. I opened the DVD to check for an apparatus where liquid would pour out, and I could find none. All of a sudden, the DVD started to scream, "People are like onions!" I could smell onions all of a sudden, like those old scratch and sniff cards you had in the 90s. I threw the tape in the garbage can and lit the garbage on fire. My sprinkler system went off as the tape exploded, sending fiery hot plastic into my eyes and burning my chest and nipple hair. I woke up in the hospital. Turns out people are like onions. The doctors extracted several whole Vidalia onions from my chest cavity during a surgical operation that took roughly 16 hours and required some of the biggest doctors in the state. They called it a medical miracle, stating I had only 3 days left to live. Well, you can imagine how I spent those 3 days. Day 1, make this write-up so that the internet will remember this horrible tale. Day 2, visit the world's largest McDonald's and order some spaghetti, because why not? And Day 3, march straight into DreamWorks' studios and demand to know the meaning of this godforsaken and nonsensical tape. I stormed in, slamming the DVD on the counter. "What the fuck is this shit?" I yelled to a man behind the chair. The chair swiveled around, revealing Mike Myers. He looked horrible. He had gained roughly 200 pounds and his skin had turned green due to leprosy or something. I'd wondered what happened to him after the Love Guru. But this, he had warts and scars all over his body and he was dressed exactly like Shrek. "You see, Mark," he said, leering at me with that Mike Myers scowl. "People are like onions!" I began to shudder. "And onions have layers!" He took out a potato peeler and lunged at me. I took out the DVD as he stabbed the potato peeler and he stabbed the DVD slipcase, the source of his power. Probably. Mike Myers exploded into onions and I was fired. But it's okay, because either way I'll be dead in roughly 20 seconds.